Elaine, I know from your Live on 5 report within the past hour that Shaker Lakes deserves some of the blame today.
Yes, it does. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment, Ted. As you can see behind me, the roads are blocked off, and what you see right over here is Shaker Lake. We made our way back here, and you can see that the water is overflowing. What happened when it rained so quickly? The lake filled up and just flooded down the streets. You see this vehicle here and some construction. This is where a new sewer project was going in, and city workers here fear that hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage may have been done in this area. Now, the lake overflooded, sending water spilling down the streets. Lots of streets here in Shaker Heights and Cleveland Heights have been closed down. What police are worried about is that the current is very, very strong here in this area, and they've been keeping kids, like you see the kids down there, off their bikes, out of the water. They're concerned that the children might have been swept away. However, we have no reports of injuries, no vehicles being swept away in this particular area. However, we do have vehicles that have been stalled and pushed to the side of the road. Very lucky that no one has been injured out here, Ted. Just a lot of people slowed down, especially on their way home from work.
Right, you are, Elaine, and more on the weather and the forecast coming up from Don in just a few minutes. Thank you.
The Browns are in the national spotlight, and so is Cleveland. I'm Elaine Tack. Coming up after the game, we'll have more on the game, the players, and the city.
For them, and one of those reporters is standing by now. Elaine Tack is at City Hall. And Elaine, I hear that council had almost 200 pieces of legislation to vote on. Is that right?
Yeah, that is absolutely right. And those 200 pieces took a good deal of the evening. City council members left here just about 9:45, finished up their business. A lot of business that affects you. One piece of business they finished up affects you and meter maids. Now, in the past, meter maids have only been allowed to ticket cars in front of expired meters. But thanks to council tonight, they'll now be allowed to ticket cars in front of hydrants illegally parked. And the city believes that this new system will allow meter maids to double the number of the tickets they write on a daily basis. Well, that made a lot of people happy tonight because we beat out Fort Worth, Texas for that honor of being a sister city with Budapest. Now, even though this is the last meeting, council will be meeting once in July, once in August, and then reconvene on September 10th for a new year and a lot of new legislation. Roy?
Okay, Elaine, thanks very much. And another note.
Reports it is a serious and dangerous job trying to clean up Cleveland's neighborhoods.
For 5 days, drug dealers have been under siege by Cleveland police. Once again, just after 4.
You'll be going into the parking lot when you get out, right out after it, okay?
Police officers began moving through the inner-city Cleveland neighborhoods of Short Scoville, King Kennedy, Morris Black, and Woodland.
Roger, got a marijuana salesman here.
You see how fast they're getting away from us as we pull up? They have the lookouts, and what we're doing is chasing them right back into our people. You hear the whistles as you're coming down the street. They blow the whistles to warn them that we're coming. Put your hands behind you.
Screw it down.
I hear your guys calling them by name. They know these guys?
Yeah, they're out here every day. Every day. So this is a common thing for our people to be out here every day after this.
Rockheads.
People we should have 2 here, 4, 5 we should have all together because I'm letting the one go.
One of the men arrested was carrying all these rocks of crack. When suspects dropped their stash, police searched everywhere.
You check his mouth?
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How old was he?
37. He's 16.
A couple killings were over here, drug-related. It's a hot spot right now for drugs. And what happens here is when we come into the area, they have lookouts that are out in the outskirts, and they'll follow us as we go in and warn the people inside.
Do you see many automatic weapons?
That's what's being fired at nighttime out here. We haven't found any today yet, or any weapons. Usually we come up with weapons in this area.
Police know the battle they face here on the streets, but they say they'll be around until the war is won.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Elaine Tack, Eyewitness News. For the first time in 5 years, it's Bat Day at Cleveland Stadium. Young fans won't forget it. Your first bat is an event no baseball fan can ever forget.
Well, when I got my first bat, My uncle bought it for me, and I thought it was one of the biggest treasures in the world.
Coaches can't forget it.
And I kept that bat. I used to go take that bat to bed with me at night.
Players won't forget it either. It made dreams come true.
First bat was probably when I was 6 years old. Just picked it up out of a Big Five sporting goods shop or something, and went in the backyard and swung on the tire a little bit and hit some tennis balls with it.
For them and for these fans, this is a bat of dreams. But what dream would you wish to come true?
Hit a home run. I want to grow up to be a baseball player, and I want to play base. I want to be on the Cleveland Indians baseball team.
Yeah, to hear those words, batter up, to dig in, watch for the windup, the pitch, and swing. Whoa, wait a minute, is this a dream come true? Come on, Louie, bring it in here.
I got the ball from Elaine Tack.
Wow, a bat of dreams in a field of dreams. I hope they come true for you, too. Elaine Tack, Eyewitness News.
And that is not all. Elaine Tack joins us live from the marina at Edgewater with more on the story. Elaine.
Well, Wilma, the rain has let up, but the wind has picked up. Here you can see that it's causing big waves here over on the shores of Lake Erie. Right behind me, you can see them crashing. Now, around the county in Medina, 4 inches of rain fell in 2 hours tonight. In Seven Hills, the fire department had more than 50 calls from people who needed their basements pumped out. And the Cuyahoga River rose to 13 feet. That's just 3 feet below flood level. The water came rushing and gushing down Cleveland city streets tonight, bringing rush hour traffic to a standstill. Parts of I-77 and the East Shoreway had to be shut down for a time because of deep water. Low-lying streets turned into rivers, leaving some people wading and even swimming to or from their cars in an effort to save themselves or rescue their vehicle. At about 7, the Coast Guard got an emergency call that a boat was in trouble. They have been spending most of the evening trying to locate it. Although the water level went down by 9, Martin Luther King Drive was turned into a wall of water. At about 7, the swift current swept cars away. This one got caught just before the St. Clair turnoff. No. Sunny River is another driver whose car went for a swim.
I was sitting there in the water rising. Then this Lincoln floated into me. And next thing I know, we floated over here on the curve over here.
And this is where Sonny's car ended up. Look at what the current swept down. The water was up on top of his windows. And this is the Lincoln that swept into Sonny's car. Take a look what went inside once the woman opened her door. What a mess. In Euclid Heights, a garage roof collapsed under the force of the rain. And many drivers throughout Cleveland and surrounding suburbs found themselves up a river without a paddle. Now, I mentioned that the Cuyahoga River is just 3 feet below flood level, but the Weather Service expects it to crest at 18 feet by tomorrow morning. Reporting live from the shores of Lake Erie, I'm Elaine Tack. Back to you, Wilma.
I'll tell you, Elaine, that footage is really something to see for this area.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
What a mess right here in Northeast.
It was very emotional for the people living here, Ted. As you can see behind me, the people of Shadyside have gone home to bed tonight. The service lasted about an hour, a difficult service for many people. But still, the people say that even though this has shaken and torn apart their lives, they vow to stay in Shadyside and rebuild their community so it is stronger than ever before. Shredded houses, twisted bicycles, torn cars, lives destroyed. Still tonight, through the devastation, you can see signs that the human spirit survives. Children playing on their front porch.
I just think that it's sad. We have everything except for the stuff that we had in our basement. Some people don't even have their daughters today.
Children whose lives are scarred by this.
If it started raining real hard, then I get scared.
Carolyn Lowe and her family survived the floodwaters. Babysitting next door, 12-year-old Carrie Jo didn't.
I feel a sense of sadness and loss. Not for me, but for everyone else.
For her neighbors, like Bill Dunphy, who walks his road alone tonight, his home of 32 years washed away in less than 24 hours.
It's horrible. It's just a mess.
8-year-old Joshua Connor lost his cousin,
his aunt and uncle. But today, he and his mom are helping a friend move out. For even in this tragedy, neighbors, families, and friends are coming together to help one another.
Everybody's hurt. And they've seen the disaster and that.
Coming together to sing and to pray and to share their sorrow so they can grow stronger together.
Now, some of the people I spoke with earlier tonight told me they weren't strong enough to come to tonight's service. They just couldn't face the tears and the pain. But talking to people as they left tonight's service, I found a lot of people who had newfound strength. They felt good about living here in Shadyside and about the people surrounding them. Ted?
Just amazing.